Do you have short-term guardians named in case there was an emergency and you didn't have family close by? Well, stick around. I'm about to explain why you need to protect your kids. Hello, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm the estate planning mom, and my name is Krista Hermans. I am an estate planning attorney licensed in California, and I help families with minor children protect their children and families through estate planning. Please make sure to click that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified when new videos are released every Thursday. So today I'm going to be talking about nominating short-term guardians for your minor children. So one of the reasons that I think it's very important to have short-term guardians nominated for your minor kids is that if there was an emergency that happened involving both parents, who would have legal authority to watch your children? So let me give you a scenario. So let's say you and your spouse went out on a date. I know it doesn't happen very often, but let's say you were able to go out on a date and you left your minor children at home with a babysitter. And maybe the babysitter was, a 16-year-old girl that lived down the street from you, and her mom was at home and she's watched the kids tons of times, so you didn't have any concern about her being able to watch them because her mom was there if she needed anything. Well, let's say you were in a car accident and both you and your significant other were in a coma in the hospital. Police would go to your home to figure out what's going on and see that you have minor children that are there with the babysitter. Now at this point, the babysitter wouldn't be able to keep the kids, right? She's a 16-year-old girl. She has no legal authority. She's not an adult. And the mom, who is an adult, doesn't have any legal authority. She's not related to the kids. So then what are you supposed to do at this point? Well, with no short-term guardians nominated, at this point, the police may need to call Child Protective Services to come to the home and try and find family that's close by to be able to take the children. But if you don't have family that's close by, then it's possible that Child Protective Services would need to take the children out of the home and put them in foster care until family was able to get to them. Now, this would be a horrible situation for children, being taken out of their home to an unfamiliar place, already going through the emotional aspect of having their parents in the hospital. So how do you do it? How do you fix this problem to make sure that there's a plan in place? Well, what you can do is you can nominate short-term guardians for your minor children. And I tell all clients, when they have minor children, one of the things that we focus on is nominating long-term guardians for your minor children, but we go above that and we say, let's nominate short-term guardians so that if the long-term guardians are not available or you don't have any family close by, you can identify people that live within 30 minutes or somewhere around there that in an emergency can get to the kids to be able to take them if necessary. And what this document basically says is that you're giving legal authority in the short term for these people to hold your children and make medical decisions on their behalf if necessary, and that you're giving legal authority for them to have them. So in order to do this, you can nominate, if you don't have people that live close by, you can nominate people that are neighbors that know your children and that you trust. If you have a mom's group or dad's group that you're involved in, any parents in there that you trust and that your kids are familiar with, maybe kids from your school or maybe just friends that you have that in an emergency would be okay keeping your kids until family was able to arrive. And I see this a lot with clients when maybe they are a transplant to our area for one of the spouse's jobs and they don't have any family. Think about it this way. When you and your spouse go out on a date, do you leave your phone number and your spouse's phone number as the only phone numbers for an emergency? Do you leave any other family or local people that would be able to help the babysitter in any type of emergency? And most people don't. They don't even think about it. So that's just one thing to consider. Okay, so how do you do this? How do you put this in place? Well, first it's identifying who you would want to be short-term guardians for the kids. You want to have the discussion with them, just saying, hey, are you okay being a short-term guardian, that if something were to happen and there was an emergency, would you be okay holding the children until their guardians or family member were able to arrive? And then you document it, get it notarized or get it witnessed, and this is in California. This is how we do things here. So you want to make sure you do it for your state specifically. But then you have this document that says, I give legal authority for these people to have my children if there was an emergency. And this would prevent the possibility of Child Protective Services having to take the kids out, because you've identified somebody that you would want to be able to hold your children until family or guardians were able to arrive. Okay, so something that we do for clients is nominating temporary guardians, and this is the document that we use right here, basically just saying exactly that: temporary guardians for minor children. We identify those people that you would be able to identify as being temporary guardians, and we get it notarized. This comes included with our Kids Safeguard system that we have. We do sell this package separately, but the Kids Safeguard system does come included with all of the trust packages that we do. So if you aren't sure where to get started, but maybe you're concerned because you don't have family that's close by, maybe the family that you have is completely across the country, or in a different country, which happens to a lot of clients that I work with. So if that's a concern that you have and you want to make sure that you get temporary guardians nominated for your kids, please reach out to us and let us know, and we can go over the steps with you to make sure that your family is protected and the things that you can do. So thank you for joining me, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell and comment if you have any questions about estate planning or nominating short-term guardians for your minor children. Thanks so much.